There's a particular kind of grey that only exists in Ireland. Not the grey of a rainy afternoon in a city you're passing through. Not the grey of a bad day, or a sad movie, or a Monday that won't end. This is something else entirely. It's a grey that settles. That sits with you. That follows you from the window of your flat to the inside of a cafe to the space behind your eyes where thoughts usually live. I remember the first time I felt it. It was a Tuesday in November. I woke up and the sky outside was the exact same color it had been when I went to sleep. And for a second, just a second, I couldn't tell if the day had started or if the night had never really ended. That was my first Irish winter. And I had no idea what was coming. I want to talk about what winter does to you in Ireland. Not the cold, you can handle cold. Not the rain, you already knew it rained here. I want to talk about what happens inside a person when the sun rises at 8:30 in the morning and sets before 4 in the afternoon. What happens to your sense of time? To your appetite? To your social life? To your sense of self? To the version of yourself you brought here from wherever you came from? Because nobody warned me. And I think that's the most important thing I can tell you before we go any further. Nobody warned me. Every person I spoke to before I moved here talked about the weather like it was a minor inconvenience. Like it was something you'd get used to. And in a practical sense, they were right. You do get used to the rain. You buy a better jacket. You learn which days are safe to hang laundry and which days aren't. But the light, or the absence of it, that's a different conversation entirely. The first thing you notice is the afternoons. Or rather, you notice the point when afternoons stop existing. There's a week in late October, right after the clocks go back, where the psychological shift happens. You finish work at 5 and it's already dark. Not dusk. Dark. And your body, without asking your permission, starts to wind down. Starts to prepare for sleep at a time when, 6 weeks ago, you would have been making plans for the evening. You fight it at first. You put on more lights. You make plans you don't follow through on. You tell yourself it's fine, it's just the season, it's temporary. But here's what I didn't understand then, and only understand now looking back: it's not depression. It's not laziness. It's not a failure to adapt. It's something much older than any of those words. It's your nervous system doing exactly what nervous systems evolved to do when the light disappears. Slow down. Turn inward. Conserve. And Ireland, unlike almost anywhere I'd ever lived, actually lets you do that. That's the part nobody talks about. The permission. Where I'm from, slowing down has a cost. There's always something that needs doing, somewhere that needs going, someone waiting for a response. The pace of life is built on the assumption that you are always available, always productive, always moving forward. And when you're not, when you slow down, it reads as failure. As weakness. As something to fix. In Ireland, in winter, slowing down is just what happens. The country itself slows down. The evenings contract. The pubs fill up a little earlier, and not with people trying to be seen, with people trying to be warm. The conversations get quieter. The weekends become something closer to rest than entertainment. And slowly, without noticing the exact moment it happened, I stopped fighting it. I remember sitting in my kitchen one evening in December. It was dark by 3:30. I had nowhere to be. I made tea. I sat at the table. I didn't put on the television. I didn't pick up my phone right away. I just sat there, with the rain against the window and the sound of nothing in particular, and I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Still. Not happy. Not sad. Just still. It's hard to explain that to someone who hasn't felt it, because in the world we've built, stillness is suspicious. If you're not producing something, you should at least be consuming something. If you're not moving forward, you should at least be entertaining yourself. The idea of sitting in a quiet kitchen with a cup of tea and no particular destination, it sounds either like a luxury or a symptom. In Ireland, in winter, it just sounds like a Tuesday. But here's where it gets complicated. Because that stillness, that beautiful, unfamiliar stillness, it doesn't stay comfortable. After a while, the quiet stops feeling like peace and starts feeling like absence. Like something is missing. Like you've been emptied of something you didn't know you were carrying. This is the part one really want you to understand, because I think it's the part that catches people off guard. The winter doesn't break you. It doesn't dramatically destroy the life you built or the person you were. It's much subtler than that. It empties you. Slowly. Steadily. Like a tide going out, so gradual that you don't notice until you look down and realize the ground under your feet is different from what it was. The things I used to fill my days with, the noise, the rushing, the constant sense that I needed to be doing something more, something bigger, something worthy of the time I was spending, all of that got quieter. And then quieter still. And then one day it was just gone. And at first, that scared me more than any cold or darkness could. Because there's a particular terror in quiet when you've spent years avoiding it. When the noise was never just noise, it was cover. For doubt. For questions you kept postponing. For a version of yourself you weren't sure you wanted to meet. Ireland in winter removes the cover. Slowly. Without asking. And what you're left with is not a crisis, it's a confrontation. The quietest kind. Just you, and the things you brought here, and the growing realization that some of them were never really yours to carry. I spent January sitting with that. January in Ireland is long in a way that defies the calendar. The days are short but they feel endless. The novelty of the winter has worn off but the spring is still too far away to feel real. It's the month that tests you. Not dramatically. Just persistently. And then February came. And something shifted. It started small. I noticed I was cooking more, not because I was bored, but because I actually wanted to. I was reading again, really reading, the kind where you lose track of time. I was going for walks in the afternoons not to exercise but because the light at 3 o'clock in February, low, golden, sideways, is one of the most specific things I've ever seen. It looks like the world is being lit from inside. I started paying attention differently. To small things. The specific weight of the silence after rain stops. The way Irish people say goodbye, always one more thing to say, always one more moment before the door actually closes. The sound of a Sunday morning in a town where everyone is sleeping in. I had been in Ireland for months at this point. And I was only now actually seeing it. That's the thing about the emptying. When the winter strips away the noise and the pace and the version of you that needed constant stimulation to feel okay, what's left is attention. A different quality of attention. The kind you can't manufacture. The kind that only arrives when everything else has gone quiet. And what I found in that attention was something I'm still trying to name properly. It wasn't happiness exactly. It wasn't peace exactly. It was something closer to presence. The feeling of actually being inside your own life instead of running alongside it. The feeling of being in a place, really in it, not just physically occupying it, for maybe the first time in years. Ireland did that. The winter did that. Not by giving me something. By taking things away until what remained was real. I think about that sometimes when I see people arrive here in the summer, bright-eyed, overwhelmed by the green, astonished by how different it feels from wherever they came from. And they're not wrong. Ireland in summer is extraordinary. The light that stays until nearly 11 at night. The way the whole country seems to exhale. The feeling that anything is possible. But they haven't met the winter yet. And I want to tell them, gently, without alarming anyone, that what's coming is not something to be afraid of. It's something to be curious about. Because the winter is going to show them things about themselves that the summer can't reach. It's going to quiet them down in ways that feel uncomfortable at first, then unfamiliar, then necessary. It's going to empty them. And then, and this is the part one couldn't have told you in November, the part one can only tell you now, something else is going to come in. I don't know what that something else will be for you. I can only tell you what it was for me. A kind of groundedness I hadn't felt since childhood. A relationship with slowness that doesn't feel like failure. A capacity for noticing things, really noticing them, that I'd apparently traded away somewhere in the years of moving fast and staying busy. And an understanding of this country that only winter can teach you. Because Ireland in winter is Ireland without the performance. Without the tourism, without the festivals, without the long evenings that make everything feel romantic and temporary. What's left is the actual place. The actual people. The grey sky and the strong tea and the particular way that Irish silence is never quite empty, it's full of something that doesn't have a word in any language I speak. That's the Ireland I live in now. Not the postcard version. Not the summer version. The version that knows how to wait. And I think I became someone who knows how to wait too. I'm not going to tell you that you should love the Irish winter, or that it's going to transform you in some beautiful cinematic way. Some people go through it and just find it hard. Some people go home. There's no shame in either of those things. But if you stay, if you let the winter do what it does, if you stop fighting the stillness and let yourself be emptied of whatever you brought here that was never really yours to begin with, what comes back is something quieter and something truer. And you'll know it when it arrives. Not because it's dramatic. But because it won't be. It'll just be you. Sitting in a kitchen. Rain on the window. Tea going cold. And for the first time in a long time, that will be enough. If this touched something in you, something you recognize even if you've never set foot in Ireland, I'd love to know what it was. Leave it in the comments. Not a summary, not a reaction. Just the thing. The specific thing this made you think of. Those conversations are the reason I make these videos. And if you're new here, welcome. This is what we do. We talk about what it actually feels like to live in a place. Not the highlights. The whole thing. I'll see you in the next one.